Welcome everyone to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website. That's CACRAO.org. Now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. Enjoy.
All right, let's do it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Esports Gaming in College panel. My name is Corey Brown. I am a rep from Randolph College. Also on the panel, we have Barton College and Catawba College. So a little bit about Randolph College. We are located in Lynchburg, Virginia. We are a small private liberal arts college, D3 sports-wise. And we have a student body of about 650 students. Here we like to get as hands-on as possible and like for the students to experience everything firsthand. Just some little fast facts about the college. As I said earlier, population is in between that 600 range, average class size of 11, 30 majors, 43 minors, 5 pre-professional programs, 3 graduate programs, including coaching, creative writing, and education, and then esports spring 2020 is the big one there, and then rolling admissions. So once we have everything from you, it's typically about a 2-week turnaround for us to get a decision back out to students. And 100% of our students do receive some type of financial aid. A big thing for us in the next upcoming year is the Take 2 class scheduling. As you can see, you have a couple different forms of the Take 2 schedule. The biggest thing to take from this is that students will take 2 courses for a 7-week period of time. And then following the 7 weeks, we'll go into an exam period. This will allow students to focus more specific on 2 courses at a time, and also will allow students to retain the information a little better, we think. But then also allowing students to venture out into extracurriculars. So your sports, clubs, internships, and research projects.
All right. Thank you so much, Corey. So my name is Tyler Dew. I'm with Barton College. So Barton, we're in Wilson, North Carolina. So we're about 45 minutes east of Raleigh, about a couple hours from the beach. So a nice little location. If you know where Raleigh and Greenville's at, we're literally right smack dab in the middle. We're also a small college as well. We're a 4-year private liberal arts college. So here's some quick facts about us. So our mascot's the Bulldog. You see Blue the Bulldog, cool little mascot that we got. Like I said, in Wilson, North Carolina. So our average class size is actually going to be 16. Our total enrollment is 1,100. That actually jumped up, so we're on the rise a little bit. So our enrollment this year was just under 1,200, and that's going to continue to rise for sure. And our student-faculty ratio is 11-to-1. So we pride ourselves on getting students hands-on experience, and we really we cherish the community-like atmosphere here. So your professors, they know your names. They actually care about you. I can tell you so many stories of when I was a student, how all the professors reached out to me to help me if I were struggling in something. If I wanted to get involved on campus, the professors pushed me to get involved. It's really a community atmosphere, and you become friends with a bunch of people, including your professors, and that's hard to find elsewhere. So that's a really cool opportunity that we have, and that's what we pride ourselves on. But even though we are a smaller college, we do have many opportunities. So you can see on the right that we have 50+ majors and minors and concentrations. We also have a boatload of pre-professional programs as well. So like I said, even though we're small, we're not lacking in any opportunity that we have. So we have a bunch of majors and a bunch of clubs and organizations that students can do. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, go ahead. This is a list of every single major and concentration that we have. And on the right, you see all the pre-professional programs that we have. So the highlights in blue, you see those majors. Those are our most popular majors and probably our top majors. We're known for nursing and elementary education, but our business program is also really, really strong. Exercise science, really hands-on, and that's also really popular at Barton. Anything with biology is super popular because you can do many pre-professional programs with that. So yeah, this is a list of everything. And each major pretty much requires an internship. Almost every single one does. My major, when I was a student, was mass communications. I had to do an internship. My internship was with social media. I worked for a baseball team. So lots of cool opportunities like that. And your professors are easily able to connect you to those internships. So it doesn't matter what you do. If you're exercise science and you want to do something in a gym, your professors will lead you to that. I want to do social media. My professor is the one who sent me that job in the first place. So for the admissions process for Barton, our application is completely free. There's no essay requirement, no letters of recommendation or anything like that unless you do not have test scores. And I'll get into a little bit of that later. So what we require, once you submit that application, you can do it through Common App, CFNC, or just free on our website, barton.edu/apply. Then you'll submit that high school transcript. I would just get with your guidance counselor and talk to them about that. If you have taken an SAT or ACT, we do require that. If you have not been able to take it because of COVID, then that's when you'll send in letters of recommendation. And just reach out to your admissions counselor whenever you apply to talk about that. As for financial aid and scholarships, every single student who gets accepted gets a scholarship. You see on the left, our merit-based scholarships range from $5,000 to $14,000. I always tell students to do well in school, not just to get accepted, but there's a big difference between $5,000 and $14,000. So do well in school, kids, you know what I'm saying? That way you can reach for that $14,000 per year. It's going to help a lot more. And those are kind of what we offer at Barton for sure.
Awesome. Hey, you guys, my name is Victoria Layton. I am an admissions counselor here at Catawba College. I mainly work with students from the central North Carolina area, but happy to help any students coming from anywhere. I also was a 2018 Catawba College graduate, so I graduated with a double major in vocal performance and worship arts. But I'm just here and happy to tell you a little bit about Catawba. Perfect. So we are a small liberal arts college. So we have about 1,300 undergraduate students. 84% of those first-year students do live on campus. So the other percentage live within a 25-mile radius of campus. Among those students, we have 29 states and 19 countries represented, and we're very proud of our 38% campus diversity. That's continuously raising and growing, so we're very proud of that. We do have 70 plus academic programs, and our average class size has actually dropped to 13 this year. We do have a 12-to-1 student faculty ratio, and none of our classes are taught by TAs. And although we have so many programs to choose from, we do also offer an individualized major. So if you are interested in something a little more specific than what we already have, you'll meet with your academic advisors and kind of pick and choose from different majors to kind of create something that's a little more tailored towards you. So that's a really cool thing that we offer at Catawba. We do have 23 Division II athletic teams. Our newest is beach volleyball. We are one of only 2 schools in North Carolina that has beach volleyball, but all of our athletic teams are amazing. If you're not as athletically inclined, we do also have intramural teams. So those are a fun way to not only compete against your friends, but also your professors sometimes. So that's pretty cool. We also have 40 plus clubs and organizations. So again, we have clubs for bird watching and Pokemon Go and all kinds of things. And these clubs and organizations is actually how our esports team started. So keep that in mind. If there's something that you're interested in, we don't have a club for, you can always start that. As you'll hear a little bit later, our esports team grew very quickly. So keep that in mind. So Catawba has a lot of scholarship opportunities, departmental scholarships. Some of our biggest are accounting, business, environmental science, and history. But there are many different opportunities out there depending on which department you choose to study. And then the last 2 boxes, if you want to take a picture of those are our 2 full tuition scholarship competition opportunities. So if you have any questions or want to dive a little bit deeper into those, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about those. Perfect. Our application did open up on October 1st, and it is completely free to apply. So it does not hurt to apply and see what we can offer. We are looking for a GPA of about a 3.0 to a 4.0, SAT of a 910 to 1140, ACT of an 18 to a 24. But again, those are middle 50% ranges. So we do take above, we have taken below. We are also test optional. So if you either have not been able to take a test due to COVID, or you just don't love your test scores, because Saturday mornings are a rough time to take a test. We understand that. You can apply test optional. So that's when we will ask for an updated transcript with your most recent grades on it, also a letter of recommendation, and an essay. So just keep that in mind. I'd be happy to go over that with any of you guys if you have any further questions. And then we're also on Common App. So please feel free to reach out anytime you have any questions.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Jordan Oliver, the esports head coach over at Randolph College. So I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about our program, but you'll hear much the same from some of these other good schools as well. So we are a member school of NACE, the National Association of Collegiate Esports. That's our main focus as far as competitive play goes, but we are also joining in tons of tournaments, open and invitationals, and other leagues like Play Versus is what we're doing our Fortnite team for the fall. And it is a huge pool of scholarships and prizes they're going for in that one. So that's pretty cool. We also have teams not only in Fortnite, but we support Rocket League, Overwatch, Valorant is one of our bigger ones this year. We will be doing some Apex Legends invitationals once it goes crossplay, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is also huge this fall. I think we have 15 students total involved in that club. So that's been really successful and a really diverse group of students as well. But we'll be doing NBA 2K, Madden, NFL, FIFA, Hearthstone, and more. The sports games tend to be more heavy in the spring. So in the meantime, we're doing lots of fun things to keep our sports-minded students busy, like intramural play and some student sort of tournaments and competitions. So it's been pretty fun. We also heavily focus on streaming, shoutcasting, which would be like sports announcing for esports, and content creation. So creating the overlays and animations for your live stream, and sort of teaching our students how to best present themselves, or sort of do the play-by-play while also growing their audience, and a lot of marketing-based concepts there. So on the next slide, you will see that we are also allowing our students, like everyone should be pretty much in esports right now, to keep what they win, either in the form of scholarships or the prizes or money that you actually win. So, we're happy to pay for the tournament and league fees, and anything that you win is yours. So that's a huge perk to playing esports over a traditional NCAA sport. Here at Randolph, we also are proud that our esports group so far is about 50-50 in terms of students that identify as male or female. So super diverse and good representative, nice safe community for our esports students who might be a little more introverted or shy and less willing to sort of put themselves out there. It's a really awesome group of students. So the community there is really sort of a focus point of what we're trying to do. We also use our esports room for like watch parties and launch parties of various games, and any big esports like tournaments or sort of pro teams like Washington Overwatch, for example. We support that being more or less in their proximity. We also have lots of guest speakers from the esports world. There's a picture of us talking to a pro Smash player. And this recently we talked to some people from the Washington Justice Overwatch League team organization. So that's pretty cool. And that gives our students sort of a segue into some of our internship opportunities that we are trying to really push as we build partnerships. It's a great area for tech companies and gaming companies, North Carolina, Virginia, all the way down to Georgia, sort of this awesome hub for esports and gaming companies. So that's really cool that we are able to offer our students these sort of opportunities upon graduation. And we really want them to be ready for a job in gaming or tech by the time that they are finished with our esports program. We also have something called a RISE grant, which is $2,500 that goes to our students to sort of complete a project or research project. We have students that have been able to outfit their podcasting operation to do some esports interviews, and we facilitate that application process, make it super easy. So that's pretty cool. Gaming equipment as well. So yeah, we're also heavily involved. Our super program is sort of an honors program for our science students that we are involved in. So there's a lot of crossover events there. And as Corey mentioned earlier, 100% of our students get financial aid. So on the next slide, please. Sorry, my mic's super poppy today. So we're just getting started here. Obviously, with COVID, we took the opportunity to push back the launch date of our esports arena, which means RTX 30 series. We are looking to outfit our computers with the, sort of best GPUs, just so we'll be next gen ready. And console wise, we are going next gen as well. So that's pretty cool. And we're excited to move to that phase. Some better opportunities, and we allow our students to sort of use our esports facilities for single player or club esports as well, like Call of Duty and some other popular titles that we're not representing on a varsity level. So yeah, our students get some extra internet perks, of course, professional coaching, and then we have the esports apparel jerseys, things like these skins from our Ritual Motion out of Boston that we're partnering with Massachusetts actually. But they're a pretty cool company involved in lots of tournaments that we get birthed into for that through that partnership as well. On the next slide, I think got some contact info. So if you want a screenshot or take a picture with your phone, you can check out us on Twitch, where we try to broadcast at least 3 times a week, our Monday, Wednesday, Friday competitions. And we're also on Instagram. And then if you have any questions, you can hit me up through my email here or on Discord. We have a great Discord community. So yeah, lots of potential. Come to Randolph if you want to sort of get more of a personal attention, I guess, and a esports program that's geared towards your individual talent and what your career aspirations are as well. So it's pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paul Christensen. I'm assistant professor of sport management and head esports coach here at Barton College in Wilson, North Carolina. And so our esports team, as well as like what Jordan said, we compete in NACE. We are one of the first members to join NACE, which is the National Association of Collegiate Esports. You can kind of think of that as like the NCAA of esports. And so that's the primary conference that we compete in. We also compete in a number of different other ones, like Play VS is going tonight, like Jordan said, with Fortnite, and they're competing for a lot of money as well. So they compete in all of those. And so we can compete in over 16 different titles right now. Within that, League of Legends, we have 2 teams going there competing. Fortnite's very big as well. Madden, we're also going to host the championships for Conference Carolinas. So we're also very large in Madden, 2K, and some of those other games as well. But we also have a very large Call of Duty team and things of that nature. So you might see a game over there that you play or that you specialize in, but we also compete. New games are coming out all the time that we continuously support. And so, we compete in that area. So you can see in that space there, these are some of our athletes who are competing. We also get apparel and things of that nature, and they're standing there in our arena, which I'll talk about here shortly. Want to go to the next slide? Yeah, and so our esports arena is really state of the art. We were fortunate enough, we got a partnership with the local internet company called Greenlight. And so Greenlight, they gave us a dedicated gig of speed, so we're super, super fast, and it's a growing arena space. We have an entire basement that we're going into. Right now we have 35 stations, gaming stations that are completely full, as well as you can kind of see there in that middle picture, that's our green room, where we do a lot of our shoutcasting and things of that nature. So it's exciting. It's a great arena. We partner with Respawns out of, like Jordan is saying, Cary. And so we're very fortunate. We have Epic Games is located in Raleigh, and so we're only about 40 minutes away from Raleigh. And so they're the owners of Fortnite, and I think they just bought Rocket League as well. And so they helped us outfit this arena as well, and growing. So it's a really nice space that you can come to. When you do come and be a student, you can come into the arena anytime from 8 a.m. in the morning until midnight at night. That's every day of the week. And you have your own dedicated gaming space that you can come to. So it's kind of a nice getaway for our students. And we have a great team, a great chemistry, and everyone really gets along as well. So it's kind of a nice space for you to come off of outside your dorm room and things of that nature to game. So we'll go to the next space, or next slide. And so we offer scholarships as well. We're very competitive with our scholarship offers. We've been in esports for a while now, so we've been the primary sponsor of a lot of the GalaxyCon events and things of that nature. So we've built a very competitive team so far, and our scholarship offers are generally competitive with anyone else. If anyone is providing you with a scholarship offer, we say, okay, show it to us. And if you're someone that we want, we'll really look at that and typically match it if it's something that we want to head into. So, we travel around the country, which is the nice thing too. We have these partnerships with the events, so we go to different events and things of that nature that you can go to, different LAN events and compete in as well. And so it's something fun that we do. as well. But these esports scholarships are also tied in with your academics. We're also a very good academic-based school. So like Tyler was talking about before, and so it's something that, you know, you can get more into. And one unique thing with our scholarships is that they can increase throughout the years. And so we have a thing that's built in where we have 16 different games, and I can't be an expert in all of them. So you can also try and become a team captain as well. And if you become a team captain, you really help lead a lot of our practices and scheduling and things of that nature. You also receive additional scholarship or work study allocations toward that as well as you build in. Like I mentioned, I'm an assistant professor of sport management as well. And within that, it's also, if you want to specialize and go into a career in esports, like running esports events or their marketing or things of that nature, we also have that opportunity there through our major. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, and so esports competitions, you get to keep whatever you win. I think for Fortnite, what are they? So it's 150,000 is their purse, and the purses are growing. And so, you know, that's one of the cool things that you can do as part of that as well. And we continuously go around. We're going to do a nice, fun match that's going to be televised with NC State in November. And so we look at different competitions. You know, the great thing about esports is that you don't have to travel to compete. And so also within NACE, it's just one big division. So even though we're a small school, we compete against some of the largest schools in the country. Like last year we played Duke and Alabama and Clemson. So it's kind of fun for a small school like this to compete against the largest teams in the country. And so that's something that we really pride ourselves on, and it is really fun when we get to play those teams as well. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, and so to join our team, if you're interested in joining our team, you can contact me or Tyler or anyone in our mission staff. The best place to go to is just go to our website. It's bartonesports.com. You'll see a video that explains a little bit more about our esports team and the program in general. And then an area where you can just click on to join the team and apply. And so after you apply, either I'll be in contact with you or someone with our admission staff will be in contact with you to see if you're a good fit. You can come by and visit our arena space, get to know some of our team members, and yeah, look forward to getting to know some of you a little bit more. And if you have any additional questions, I'll hang around at the end of this to answer them for you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Gid Sasser. I'm the coordinator of esports here at Catawba College. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. So Catawba Esports, we are a scholarship varsity program. We have been in NACE. We are actually primarily an ECAC school, so we do compete there with a lot of our teams. And sometimes we cross paths with Barton and Randolph, and that's always a fun time. We do have multiple training facilities. Our most recent one is still being built up, but that one will hold 24 new PCs, has a 4K projector. It's kind of a nice little area. The biggest thing I'm happy about is it has an AC unit, so everybody can stay nice and cool. Part of our program, along with the varsity scholarships, is we do offer internships, both internal and external. So you'll see to the side, Flamengo Esports in Brazil and Simplicity Esports out of Boca Raton, Florida. They are two of our primary partners. Many of our students have gotten to travel or received additional funding just for interning with them, both remotely and on site, which is also a big thing because if you're working, you know, towards your academic degree and you're getting these internships along the way, it helps you with your job placement. So we've actually had several students go on to work for these companies and a couple others. And in fact, one of our assistant coaches who is finishing his degree here is also the draft coach for Flamengo Esports, which if you're into League of Legends, that's a franchise team there. So that kind of ties in with our professional coaching staff. He's made his way through here. We have Tristan Van Waringen. For those Overwatch people, he was the head coach at Maryville University, and he came here to kind of from North Carolina. He's Canadian, but his home is in North Carolina, and he races out of here as well. So we are kind of working on that VR simulation and racing. We can go to the next slide, please. So you'll see here a couple of our sponsors and partners. We do work with HyperX and Logitech. They provide both headsets, mice, and keyboards for both of our arenas and our offices and streaming rooms. And then Monster Energy is a good partner for us. Obviously, we try to limit how much you're, downing each day, but they do provide both sugar-free and the normal Monsters. And then you'll see kind of a quick little images of our jersey and one of our rain jackets. So we do have our own clothing line with EGL. And again, I always like to joke every time that our rain jackets look like they're straight out of Naruto. So if you watch anime, that's what most of the students here buy, is that specifically to run around like they're in that world. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So you see a quick couple of pictures and how to contact us here. So you see the original arena. This one's kind of like the future meets old school. So we left the brick wall up kind of to give it that little like zen. But we do have the TV up there. It's about 100-inch. Might not look so big in the picture, but in person, it's bigger than anything I've ever owned. So it's pretty cool. And then all the guys are in here. We do use that facility now for game days now that we have the newer one coming up. So each team member will be right next to each other, fan, all that stuff. In the corner, you'll see an event, DreamHack Atlanta, which we usually go to pre-COVID, where a lot of the Catawba players and staff were able to go with the professional players, the Halo team, the Smite team, and everything, and kind of get that special little tour, hang out with them in their gaming houses and whatnot. So we do offer a lot of connections that we try to get everybody involved with, and kind of get you prepared for what comes after college and make sure you're all set up. So if you're interested, please reach out to us via our Discord, our Twitter. You can come to me and email, and check us out on the website at catawba.edu.
All right. Thank you so much, coaches. So now those who have joined, if you want to type in the Q&A box any question that you have about esports, anything specifically related to Barton, Randolph, and Catawba's programs, if you want to ask the coaches something, or if you just want to ask general questions about each college, it looks like we do have a question already. If somebody wants to click on that, I'm not able to see it when I'm sharing the screen.
Looks like someone's asking how the league teams do for each college. So for us at Catawba College last year, we had an all Masters D1 team, and they all got picked up or are playing on amateur teams or have gone to go for their post grad. So this year we're pretty developmental. We're about a Plat 2 average in league. But again, we have the ties with Simplicity and Flamingo's team. So our main focus is kind of coaching them up and get them prepared for the next season or what they want to do in the industry, as opposed to winning a championship right now. So I know each program is different. Every program will have a different philosophy, but that's kind of our take on it this semester.
So our league teams are pretty large. It's our largest team. They range. We have a varsity team that's very competitive, and then we have another team that's kind of serves as our JV team as well. But yeah, league is definitely a big thing here at Barton, and a lot of schools. College League of Legends is very big. It's one of the most established games that they have right now.
Yeah, we don't have a full league roster yet, so hopefully we will in the spring. We're scouting for it, though. Absolutely.
All right, sweet. And Corey, if you want to click on the Q&A box and read a couple of those questions, I can't read the questions when I'm sharing the screen.
Gotcha, no problem. So two of them are actually about the same, the league teams, but then the most recent question is, are the facilities also for casual play?
Absolutely, yeah. They are for us. I'm pretty sure that Paul mentioned theirs were open till midnight. So that's, yeah, we try to keep it as a community spot. Sometimes we do have closed practices for our varsity teams and our league teams. So you would know that about that ahead of time for the semester, your practice schedule. But absolutely, you're also allowed to sign up for a closed session if you want to host an event or have like a LAN party, or maybe get your Call of Duty team on just sort of like a club level event, we absolutely facilitated that as well, and we'll reserve stations.
Yeah, so ours are a little bit different. So we're just, especially now with COVID, you get your own dedicated space. So you can come in anytime from 8 until midnight. If you're on the team or if you're part of a club, you can join those as well. And so it's going to obviously grow much larger. And then we have a space set up where you can kind of lounge and things of that nature and hang out as well in the arena space.
Yeah, we're kind of following suit with like Barton. So we do have the two facilities. Our newer one, because it's bigger, that's where most everybody's spacing out until game day. But if somebody emails me, at least right now, and says, "Hey, I'd like to get in practice. I know I'm not on the team," we will make arrangements, but it's kind of like a first come, first serve. It's not open to the public at this time just because of the COVID situation.
Looks like we have another question here. How much does academics take into effect to the chances of getting on a team? Can I do a field sport and esports at the same time?
Yeah, so I know for us, I know this varies from school to school. Usually, academics, of course, comes first for sure. So we'll sort of, if you have an interest in esports or the ability, and we want you, we will sort of work around your schedule to make sure that we're not, sort of putting your chances down of doing successfully that semester. We want to make sure that you're not overly stressed. But that being said, the sort of GPA requirements to play are not really hard in stone by any league. So if you're working towards a specific GPA, say you want to get above a 2.5, and you're worried that that's too low to get on the team, we can work with you and get you on the team and sort of tailor your schedule to your academic goals. And we do have students that are both on varsity and the esports team. It's a little different because of COVID this year. So there's sort of been a slight boom in students looking for competitive play and sort of team experience and skill building that might have been in a physical sort of traditional field sport that are now in esports. But, obviously the commitments that you make, we want to make sure that you can honor them. So we'll work with your counselor, your athletics coaches, or whatever it may be to make sure that you have a successful semester.
Yeah, it's pretty similar here for us at Catawba. A lot of our transfer students and most of our esports players are actually transfer students come from the bigger schools like LSU and K-State, and they were on football or baseball there. So when they transfer in, they're making that adjustment. And we're pretty used to that, but some of them continue to play here as well. So again, yeah, we cater around it. It's definitely a lot more flexible for somebody in esports and their schedule than it is traditional sports. So I think, all the coaches here will be like, "Oh yeah, it's not as hard as it might think, or you might think." But the academic side, it is a primary concern, and I hope for most institutions. For us, our scholarship packages are in addition to your academics. So you can, if your grades slip, you'll see one change and it could affect your esports scholarship if you do receive one. So we try to make sure that's the priority going into the day. So if you're trying to make a team, I would just be very open. If your GPA is super low and you're applying to a college, just be very open about it, and be ready to answer the questions of like, why is your GPA that low? Was it, were you injured? Was it COVID? Just something personal, because I think that makes a huge impact on how everybody's going to approach it, including the admissions counselors and how they kind of try to help you out.
Yeah, academics they're really important, and especially, now we have midterms coming up too, so there's minimums that you have to hit in order to maintain on the team. And so if you have issues, you can get in contact with, study tables and student success and things of that nature. You can compete in multiple sports. So we have people on the football team as well as esports. We have some doing volleyball and a range of sports. And so esports, like Gid said, it's a little bit easier to find practice time for esports because you can do it almost anytime. I think our Call of Duty team, they practice at 10 o'clock at night. So you can really come in and fluctuate based upon that, but you also need to ensure that you maintain your academics, and that, you know, make sure that you talk with both of your coach, your athletics coach, as well as your esports coach when you come in, to make sure that you're good for that, especially if you're a dual scholarship athlete.
The next question here is, for games that lose popularity in esports scene, will those games be dropped?
That's a really good question. Certainly something that you'd want to ask a particular esports program if you have a specific game that you're going into, or you're worried about it maybe losing popularity. I know that we had some Dota 2 students who were pretty upset that, you know, NACE is not representing that game this season or probably in the future. You know, and they had sort of been really looking forward to that. So, you know, it's definitely something that will still support them and enter into, you know, fringe competitions or other leagues that do exist, even if it's just scrims for skill building, until we can find something that fits their schedule and their sort of desire for competition. But then we also try to do our best to accommodate those students by maybe crossover games, you know, games that are similar. We don't have a CSGO team, but those students are finding success and joy out of Valorant. You know, so there's sort of crossover in that, but we definitely, you know, don't drop anybody or have any intentions of pulling the rug out from underneath their feet. But, you know, it's definitely something that if it's losing popularity and there's not enough schools to support it, it won't be a sort of a premier sport or one of our upper tier varsity sports. But, you know, we'll support any game, even small games that never have been popular. We're happy to support.
Yeah, I think like Jordan said there, Apex Legends, that was another game for us too this year. So we're finding invitationals and places to compete. So we'll continue to support them as we can and as competitions arise, for sure. Especially if you're recruited for that game, you won't lose your scholarship or anything like that if that game loses popularity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad this question was asked, like Jordan said, but it's one of the first things when I meet with a potential student and athlete and their family that, you know, I ask this question, okay, this is the game you want to come here for, but what's the second one? And they usually get caught off guard and they're, oh, I didn't think about that. And so one of the requirements I ask is, hey, you can be great at one game, but be willing to play a second one. Like, already know mentally that at some point you might have to transition. And so typically we roster all of our teams, each member, they're a starter on one team, but they're a sub on the other. That way at some point, like, we can get some kind of reps in and make sure you're ready. So again, yeah, like CSGO, we do have CSGO players, but Valorant is way bigger in collegiate at the moment, at least on the hype train. So most of them are just playing Valorant instead of CSGO, and no more Overwatch. The Overwatch players will play Call of Duty Warzone now. So you're seeing kind of all that like crossover in FPS. The MOBA games, uh, I wouldn't be worried if you play anything like League of Legends. That's probably not going anywhere. But if you're a Dota player, or even a Smite player, after you play it long enough, some of those mechanics do transfer. So, I mean, your coaches, your coordinators, they're going to be willing to work with you, and kind of help you transition into that. So I wouldn't go into a program thinking, hey, what happens in 2 years? I would go in thinking, okay, what else can I do to diversify my portfolio? Because the more you can get into and the better you personally show yourself capable of adjusting and moving into other games, the better your career, should you choose to pursue esports, will be.
There are no new questions as of now. guess since there are no other questions, just want to reiterate to you guys to get out and apply to any school that you are interested in. Apply, 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 ask as many questions as possible. Much success to you guys moving forward.
Thank you, panelists. Thank you, students, for joining us. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd really appreciate any feedback that you can provide on this session today. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this recording as well as other session recordings at CACRAO.org. Thanks so much. We hope you enjoyed it.